Live stream unexpectedly shut down.
It says we're live.
Are we live?
It says we're live
Let's
on my end.
we need to check on YouTube because I just got a notification that my live stream went down. But if we're rolling, then we're rolling. No, we're live. I see it on YouTube, but it says PGA Championship bets on YouTube. Whatever, I'll edit it later. But we're live somehow, some way. Dom, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Oh, now you're in my. You're not in my.
But you can
This
hear
is
me.
some crazy stuff right now. Audio output, AirPods. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Dom, can you hear me now?
I hear you. It's our first show, everybody. Sorry.
I hear you too. This is crazy stuff. This is like I wish this would have happened on our first show, but this is like our 10 millionth show, and we had some technical difficulties. I guess we're 1 minute in. I'll start the ad reads because that was crazy stuff. And if the YouTube title is wrong, I don't know why it's wrong. We're on a new streaming service. We're getting the kinks out. But this episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN for a $25 deposit bonus. The merch store up at SGPN is running a promo 20% off everything. So go get some Golf Gambling Podcast merch. Definitely helps us out. But we are here to talk about the Charles Schwab Challenge. Definitely not the PGA. We'll touch the PGA Championship, but this isn't the PGA Championship betting show. So, Dom, as always, thank you for joining me. Sorry about those technical difficulties. Talk to me a little bit about the PGA Championship. We're talking a little bit off air, but what was your takeaway from Quail Hollow?
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty much spot on how we thought it was going to play, right around the winning score. The results don't really show how good it actually was because Rahm heated up towards the end of the front nine there, and I didn't look at the live odds, but I would assume he was pretty much dead even with Scotty because after his like second or third birdie putt dropped, it was like, I'm not sure he's going to stop.
Right. It was quite, he got back towards the end, and then once he tied it up, lost all of his dog and made a few bad mistakes down the stretch. What was your biggest sweat like on the weekend? Did you have any, or was it just Scotty running away with it and you were kind of done for?
Well, I gave Taylor Pendrith each way on the show, so that would have been my sweat, but I didn't actually bet that.
Always a tough scene when that's the case.
Unfortunately, I honestly didn't have a whole lot going. I thought it was going to be one of the big three. I think we kind of mentioned I was between Scotty and Bryson, leaning Scotty because everybody was on Bryson. It just made sense that like he does everything well. The win at Byron Nelson was impressive, and we were like, he played that for a reason. Took a week off, came and didn't really change. So
yeah, and also I'm getting word that this title is wrong on YouTube, so I'll tweet that out in like 1 second to let the people know. This is streaming as the PGA Championship betting show. So I'll change the title and everything after. I'm not sure why or how, and it has Justin Thomas as the thumbnail when we both saw Nico Echeverria on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So Restream, we got some issues with you at the moment, but we will figure that out.
We might get some pretty good views if people think we're talking live about the PGA Championship picks.
That would be.
They might be intrigued.
I'll go with Scotty if that's the case. I think he's going to win by about 5 strokes over Bryson. I think Harris English will have a nice Sunday as well. That's my prediction.
Sharp.
And I have this PGA Championship hat. I got it from the future. So, all right, let's talk Charles Schwab. Let's talk Colonial, a golf course that we see damn near. No, not damn near. We've seen forever. We see every year.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about Colonial. What are you looking for in terms of handicapping this golf course and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious when you look at the list of past winners. It's a lot of accuracy, a lot of guys who are good with their short game, good with their irons, keeping the ball in the fairway off the tee. I mean, it's a shorter-ish par 70. Not crazy demanding, but I mean, we've seen it play pretty difficult in the past years. The last year was the 5th most difficult course on the PGA Tour schedule. The year prior, it was 9th. So it's going to be fairly difficult to score here. I don't know. Davis Riley was kind of an outlier last year at 14 under because the last two winners were single digits. So what are you looking for here?
I would say Davis Riley was more of just a little outlier, like coming in off of 6-7 missed cuts and then just absolutely trouncing Scotty over the weekend. One of the craziest winners in my lifetime to see. So shout out Davis Riley. I do think the only reason Scotty's playing this week is to somehow beat Davis Riley, to get revenge on his boy. And that's what we're gonna see this week. But in terms of golf course wise, I think there's two ways to go about it. I do think they made a few renovations last week and changed the sight lines a tad off the tee, so that maybe diminish course history like 5%. But guys that are used to this course off the tee, like Jordan Spieth, Jason Kokrak, Sam Burns, they took very aggressive lines off the tee and were able to find some unique spots in the fairway and position themselves better than some other guys. But outside of that, I want a guy who is not, you don't have to be a positional guy, but a solid off the tee player. And you have to be able to spike with approach and roll a few putts in. 10-foot putts are a massive around here, both for par and for birdie. So well-rounded. You have to be well-rounded, but mainly spike on approach. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Let's get to the odds board. I'm going to ask you this question. Are you taking on Scotty, or are you going in the without market? What's your rationale there?
I'm going to consider a couple numbers in the without market. If they're not a substantial difference, I think we see some pretty good numbers towards the top. And then when you get to the long shots, the middle of the board, when you're getting like guys who are 80 to 100 at like 40, 50, 60, I don't know if I can really make the case for that. I think I'd rather just go for the 100 and rip it each way. But this is probably one of the scariest events to have Scotty in. Like, usually after winning a major for anyone, they don't play the next week, and he's playing here for a reason. Same as we said at the Byron Nelson. He's here for a reason. It's Scotty Scheffler at just shy of 3 to 1, and then we get into the 20s. It's rare that we ever see that.
Very rare, but a very unique odds board for sure. And I'm gonna say, I'm not taking him on. I'm being a bitch. I'm putting my hand up. I'm admitting defeat and going in there without market this week. We've seen Scotty win the week before a major before on a golf course that's very similar to this in terms of Harbor Town. I think they comp very well. And also, it's a Texas event. He wants to win all the Texas events he can. And I would not be surprised if he gets this done. This is a perfect scoring, perfect golf course for Scotty. And talking about spike approach play, I think he can do that. So I'm going to I'm going to go in there without market and not even deal with Scotty. Hopefully get a winner. This will be my fourth week going in there without market. I have a Ludwig win at Torrey Pines, which Scotty didn't come into the picture. And then the two other without plays were Byron Nelson, Scotty won, and last week Scotty won. So the Scotty senses right now for me are going well. Hopefully that continues its case, but hopefully we bag one this week. So let's get to the next guys: Jordan, Daniel Berger, Tommy, Hideki, Maverick, and Aaron Rai. Those six. Give me your two favorite in that range.
I would say the last two that you said, it's Tommy and Aaron Rai.
Tommy and Aaron Rai.
I will let you hit on Tommy, but when it comes to Aaron Rai, he is extremely accurate. He's shown that over the past couple events. He had a decent showing last week at the PGA. His approach tee to green was extremely good. He's coming into form. I know he started off kind of cold, but he's been consistently in the top 20 for the last few weeks here. So Rai rates out really well for me. I'm just having a hard time getting to the number, but considering the field, it makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Rai makes a ton of sense. Played pretty solid over the first few rounds last week. And yeah, you mentioned Tommy. I think this is a great week for Tommy to finish runner-up, and that would be lovely if he finishes runner-up behind Scotty. This is, a great golf course for him. He's done nothing but stripe his irons. He's done also nothing but be a bitch. But you can be a bitch and backdoor T2. You can surely do that. So Yeah, I think Tommy's my guy from the top of the board. There's a 20-1 on him in the without market. I think that's a great number because he's less than that sometimes in the normal market, or not sometimes in the normal market and in some of these books. So I like him there. I really think this is a week for him to get into the mix. He's one of the better players in this field, and he hasn't been playing bad golf. I mean, he's not been playing great, but he's been the stats look good for what Tommy's doing in terms of what I'm looking for at Colonial, and I think it's perfect for him to finish runner-up.
Yeah, and like you said, the number is a lot better than what I think a month or two ago we were betting him in the teens.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much we were betting him, but he was there for sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
why not?
All right, let's go 30s to 40s. Posty, Harris English, JJ Spawn, Keith Mitchell, Davey Rye, Davis Thompson, Bob Mack, Siwoo, Keith Harmon. Any of those guys catch your eye?
Bob Mack does a little bit. I
Yeah.
think it's a pretty good value considering the type of player that we're getting. Wasn't the best last week, but he popped in a couple spots when I was looking. And then, God, I would probably have to consider JT Poston, but same thing as Rye. I'm not sure I can get there with the number.
Yeah, I Bob Mack kind of intrigues me. I do not like what he did here last year. Lost almost 4 strokes on approach, which was one of his worst approach weeks in his PGA Tour career. So I think it's his second worst approach week in his PGA Tour career, which is a tough scene for Bob Mack. But I do like him. He's kind of been struggling in that category. I also wanted to look at Davis Thompson, but I don't like what I'm seeing in terms of the recent play. But I think it's a good numbers play. Honestly, like the Poston, who else did I say in this range? Poston. There's one guy that I wanted to mention, but where did my odds board go? Oh yeah, Poston and Spawn make sense in my opinion. I think I like Spawn. Spawn's striping the irons, and he's won in Texas before, and he's in some decent. He's played great golf this season. Positional golf course. You play Spawn when you have to spike with the approach. So I think I might go to Spawn here in this range. I think Spawn's my guy.
Spawn is another one that rates out extremely well because I'm obviously weighing in accuracy more than distance when it comes to off the tee. I mean, like you said, he's striping the irons pretty much every single week, and he's bringing it every week. He's made almost every cut. So
I also like. What do you think about Glover? I might have never bet Glover in my life, but if I'm looking for a runner-up, we know what he can do in terms of approach. He's been striping the approach. The putter has been a mess. But last year, he gained almost 7 strokes putting here. Like, he plays this event every single year. He knows this golf course.
Yeah, and the course history is really good. When you explain to someone what you need at Colonial, Lucas Glover's obviously a golfer that comes to mind. So I think he's mispriced a little bit.
His putting week last year, gaining 6.8, was his best putting week since 2020. So, I mean, he's not going to gain 7 strokes putting again. But the thing is, if you told me Lucas Glover gained 7 strokes putting at Charles Schwab last year, I think he wins. And he instead he finished T12, so that's kind of a concern. But he's been hitting the irons really well. So I think Glover and Spawn are my selections here for sure. And I really think that makes me want to go to the top a little bit less because you're getting some decent ceiling with this 40 range and the same as you're getting at the top.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go down a little bit more. 50s, 45s, Novak, Griffin, Mike Kim, Mac Hughes, Thorbjorn Olesen, Akshay, Harry Hall, Gerard, Taylor Moore, Bud Cauley. Any of those names catch your eye?
2 guys that I've been betting and they haven't really moved in range, but Ryan Gerard and Akshay Bhatia at 70. I don't know how many more times I can go to Akshay. Like, he's been probably one of the bigger letdowns on the PGA Tour this year, I would say. Him and another guy who I bet we'll talk about a little bit later on. But it seems like this would be a place that would set up fairly well for him.
I will say, so when I was talking about this last night, and this might make me go to Akshay, outside of the course history, which is not good, he's this is going to encourage you. He's lost strokes on approach at Quail Hollow, at Philly Cricket, at the Masters, and in his defense at Valero. He gained 6.5 strokes on approach at Harbor Town. I would say out of those 4 courses, outside of his defense at TPC San Antonio, the only Akshay course was Harbor Town. I'm
Yeah.
not really too concerned that he lost strokes at Cricket, at Quail, at Augusta. Like, you want Akshay when you have to drive it straight and hit middle irons and wedges. And that's what we have to do at Harbor Town. That's what you have to do at Colonial. So he's coming off 2 really, really solid putting weeks. I think this is a course that sets up for him well in terms of mid-iron play. And we're getting a great number on him. Like, the ceiling you're getting with Akshay, he's won in Texas before. I think I can go there.
Yeah, it's just like how many, even in a field like this, it's hard to imagine him being 70-1. Like, regardless of form. We all know the form's not there. But it's not like he's missing a cut every single week. I mean, he's making cuts, but just not piecing everything together. And it's probably only a matter of time before he does.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. A golfer that I want to talk about in this range is Thorbjorn Olesen. He is in the without market around 50 to 65, depending on which book you're looking at. But he gives you a very similar profile to Tommy Fleetwood. Solid ball striking, solid green. He's got 2 T7 or betters in his last 5 starts. One of them was, in fact, in Texas. Has never played this course, which is my only potential gripe with him. And I really don't know how much I love the 50 to 65 on him in his, like, for his real ceiling. Like, what is really his ceiling? Especially in like a semi-strong field. I know he's won in Europe. He's won a ton of times in his career, but this is big boy golf on a golf course that's fairly tricky and tedious. I think I might lean with the course history and take him off, but I think I like him for a positional play. What's your thoughts on Olesen, if you have any?
He rates out pretty well for me as well. I mean, he's actually a little bit more accurate than you would think. The irons aren't too bad. The form is fine. Like, I don't know, he's playing a lot more than he did last year, which is good to see. But
yeah,
it's a good number for a guy who's had a lot of success.
So you're down for the number. You don't think
I'm down for the number, yeah. I don't even know I'd go in the without Scotty. I think he is the type of player who could just do it himself.
No, he is fearless, and like, I don't think he really cares who Scotty Scheffler is. Like, he's a Dane who just has no fear. So I mean, I think I might agree with you. I'm gonna think about that tonight and make my decision. But as of now, I think I'm in on Thorbjorn Olesen. All right, I'm gonna read 2 ad reads, and then we're gonna get down towards the 80s and 100s. Edge Boost, first ever bank account built for bettors. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposits. So sign up today at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Deposit 25 and EdgeBoost will match the deposit. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Underdog bonus, pick 'em. Underdog is going for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1. The longer series to get, the bigger the bonus gets. Here's so sign up at SGPN or underdogfantasy.com. You get a special pick plus your first-time deposit offer up to $1,000. That's underdogfantasy.com, promo code GOLFSGPN. All right, 70s, 80s range. We got Alex Smalley, Jacob Bridgman, Kurt K, Ricky Fowler, Tom Hoagie, Chris Kirk, Gorillo. A bunch of names down here. This odds board really gets like packed with a lot of names. I think it's because of where this odds board starts with the 20 and then it just kind of opens up from there. So I'm not going to read off all of these names. Give me some guys you like from like 60 to 90, then we'll triple D it.
60 to 90
in whatever market.
I would say, well, Tom Kim is technically in there. I mean, he's around 90 to 100. I'm going there again just based off the pedigree of golfer that we're getting. I mean, we talked at the top of the show about Davis Riley's form heading into last year, and I think Tom Kim was a whole lot more proven than Davis Riley at that point in time. That's the player I was hinting at when I said has been a massive letdown. T24 here last year, when it comes to the form, I mean, there's really nothing to show for.
No.
But I'm chasing a number. I'm not gonna go broke betting Tom Kim at 100-1, but
I agree. All right. I want to go with Cam Davis. Cam Davis obviously popped for a little bit last week, and he's a
yep,
streaky golfer. Once he gets going, he gets going. And Cam Davis has done some really, really nice work on shorter golf courses in his career. Plays out of Sahali in the Pacific Northwest, which is one of the most positional golf courses in the world. So he knows how to hit fairways when he needs to. And I love the fact that there's not much water on Colonial Work, because Cam Davis will find a way to put it in the water. But we're in the middle of Texas. We're not going to get too much water. So I think that's a plus for CD. And we got a 80-90 in the without market. So I think I'm down for him there. And honestly, I think Ricky Fowler is closer than we think. He's got off to a nice start in the last few weeks at some events. Then he kind of faltered off. I know he missed the cut at Quail, but he played all right at the Truist. In this event, he's finished T6 in 20, yeah, two T6s, made his last two cuts, and he's hit it really well. So I don't mind Ricky at these numbers to finish runner-up again in the mix.
Yeah, and he's pretty much been living down here when it comes to odds, and it's the same thing as the guys that I've been betting down here. You're just going with a number and a golfer who's done it before. So
yeah,
another guy down in this range that rates out fairly well for me is Matt McCarty. I know he's a little bit further down. I wish I could compare the course he won at to this, but they're not very similar in any sort of way. But Matt McCarty at 125, I think, is at least worth a look. He's been playing a lot better than he had started.
Yeah, and he's gained an approach in now 3 straight weeks. I mean, this is a golfer who was, third to last group, fourth to last group on Sunday at Augusta. You're doing good things if that's the case. You're already a PGA Tour winner, and you're like first or second or third start on tour. This kid is a grinder. This kid is here to win golf tournaments, and he said in the past that he's generally really good on tighter courses. He grew up in Arizona, which is a lot of narrow desert golf, where he was used to avoiding the desert and avoiding the cactuses. So not that this is the case here, but this is a golf course where you have to hit your spots off the tee, and Matt McCarty can surely do that. So I definitely agree with you on him. So I guess we'll just go down into the triple digits while we since you started us there. I want to take a look at Chris Gotterup. Chris Gotterup is going to be one of the few guys who might take that aggressive strategy, and it's going to be all or nothing. So I like Gotterup in an outright or like a top 5 rather than like a matchup or like a top 20. I'm going to go all the way in or all the way out with Gotterup. And I do think he's one of the few that can take those aggressive lines and set up a lot more wedges than the field. Hopefully find a hot putter. So who else do you like triple digits? And then we'll wrap it back around.
Joel Damon popped for me.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm worried that he's scarred from his finish at
I know.
the alt event.
I know. If that wasn't, I mean, he's not going to forget about it, but if that wasn't an alt event, like, I think we would have paid a lot more attention to how bad that collapse really was. But yeah, since the T2, he's missed 3 straight cuts, which isn't the best. But overall, obviously, we know what Damon's profile is. He's an accurate golfer. Another guy down here in this range, where'd he go? I got nothing. Sorry, I forgot.
You got nothing? All right. I'll get one for you. A guy. Actually, no. I'm gonna save this guy for
Your picks?
positional play. But yeah, okay. No, I'm ready to wrap it back around. Let's go to the picks. We'll do 3 outrights, 2 positionals, and a matchup if you have it. I'll start us off. I'll start in the without market outright. JJ Spawn 40-1. Just been playing great golf this season. He's done everything but win, and I damn sure believe he can get another top 5 runner-up, get in the mix on a golf course that makes sense for him. So I think it's a good number more than anything, 35 to 40-1, depending on where you're looking.
I'm going to start my card with Aaron Rye up towards the top. I think I'm just going to take him straight up at 33. I could be convinced to go in the without market, but he's just been playing really good golf the last month or two. He's accurate off the tee. The approach was there, especially last week. So I'm going to ride the form with Aaron Rye.
Awesome. My second pick will be, who was he? Just had my eyes on him, and I forget where he went. Where did he go?
And there.
Where did he go? Oh, Cam Davis. Cam Davis, 80-1 in the without market. Like I said, great on positional, great on shorter golf courses. That's some of his best results. I think even Pebble Beach, where he played really, really well on. Coming off of a decent week, and like I said, once he gets hot, he gets hot. So he's my second pick. Who you got?
My second one is going to be a guy that I did not mention when we were going through it, but another Texas guy, Pearson Coody at
Like that.
125-1. Going to take the each way there as a safe way out, because if it came down to him and Scotty, not sure I have the most confidence in him, but the approach has been good. The results have actually been really good for a guy who's playing on conditional status and fighting to get his tour card back. So I'm going to go Pearson Coody at 125-1 on the each way.
All right, my final one will be Doug Gim, 100-1 in the without market. A guy who does nothing but spike on approach. That's what you need here. He went to the University of Texas. I think that's a great benefit for him this week. So Dougie G, a guy that I'm used to riding. Prefer him on Bermuda, but it is what it is. He is a very unserious putter. You have one more outright?
Yeah, I'm just going to do my Tom Kim 100-1. No context.
Yeah. No, I mean, get
no
that
context.
number.
I'm riding with it.
All right, I'll start with the positionals. I'll give both my positionals, and then you can go into yours. I'll go 2 top 20s. I got Adam Schenk, 6-1, has gained on approach in 3 straight starts now. And Jackson Suber, top 20, 14-1. Jackson Suber has been kind of down in the dumps, but he's been a striper. Like when he gets going, when he hits the ball well, he can gain like the dude gains on approach almost every single week and loses in every single other category. Like his last 2 measured starts, he's lost like 14 strokes putting. But like the ball striking prowess that he presents on a golf course where that's going to reward that is just so high. So I like Suber to potentially get in the mix. These are not the most insane greens to read. So I'm going to go with Suber to finish inside the top 20 at 14-1.
I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
I am going to stick with, I think I'm going to take my Matt McCarty top 20, and then we will also, God, this is so gross down towards the end. I'm just going to stick with McCarty as a top 20.
McCarty? Okay.
Yep. I don't have a top 40. I wish I had a top 40 bomb, but the further I go down this list.
Yeah, you don't want to force anything that's not there.
Right.
No. All right. I will go my matchup now. I'm going to go with Matt McNeely plus 100 over Decky, full tournament matchup. And I will say from last week being on site at Quail, I saw some really, really tough things from Hideki. Like, it was not good. Ball hunts. I mean, you saw the videos of him on the range, just swinging out of his shoes, trying to speed train like Bryson. His focuses and his game is not in the right spot. I saw him hitting irons bad, hitting drivers bad, off the planet everywhere. I'm going to fade him. Maverick has played so good in Texas for whatever reason in his career in terms of ball striking. So I'll take the plus money on Mav.
My matchup, I'm going to go with Ryan Gerard over Ben Griffin, minus 105. I just like the form that Gerard's been in. He's showed up quite a bit this year and been one of the more impressive rookies. So getting Gerard at almost even money against Ben Griffin, who I'm not discounting at all, but I just prefer Gerard this week.
Awesome. All right. Well, Dom, thank you for joining me for the week. Are you going to be in the Northeast next week for the show, or what's the deal there?
I'll be back.
You'll be back? All right. Well,
I'll be back.
There's a chance we have a little collab weekend. Dom's heading to the Northeast. I'm heading to the Northeast too. So any questions, any concerns, you know where to find us. Thank you as always for listening, and we will catch you guys next Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, one of those days. Peace out. Thanks for joining me.